Today's a new day. We're wearing our blue skies. Where is the love and the joy that was promised? You tell me it's alright. I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now. Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night. Today's a new day, but tell me where are my blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that was promised? You tell me it's alright. I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now. I smile, even though I mercy, I smile. I know God's working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile, smile. It's so hard to look up when you're down. Sure would hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile. Smile for me. Can you just smile for me? Smile for me. Can you just smile for me? You look so much better when you. 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 You look so much better when you.
Always remember.
You look so much better when you smile. Almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now. Right now, I smile. Even though I hurt you, I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile, smile. It's so hard to look up when you're down. Sure would hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile, so smile. You look so much better when you. 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 You look so much better when you smile.
I just don't want you to be happy. I think you gotta have
Hey, this song is called Up to the Mountain. It is a song that is inspired by the I've Been to the Mountaintop speech by Dr. Martin Luther King. And so I wanted to sing it to you all today. It's one of my favorite songs to sing. And so I wanted to sing it to you today. So hope you enjoy. I went up to the mountain because you asked me to, up over the clouds to where the sky was blue. I could see all around me, everywhere. I can see all around me, everywhere. Sometimes I feel like I've never been nothing but tired, and I'll be working to the day I expire. Sometimes I lay down, no more can I do, but then I go on again, because you asked me to. Some days I look down, afraid I would fall, and though the sun shines, I see nothing at all. Then I hear your sweet voice, oh, come and then go, telling me softly you love me so. The peaceful valley just over the mountain. The peaceful valley, if you come to know, I may never get there ever in this lifetime, but sooner or later, it's there we will go. Oh, yeah. Sooner or later, it's there we will go.
What comes from the heart reaches the heart. Good morning and welcome to our Heartstream Live for this Sunday, January the 16th, 2022. I'm so glad you've joined us for this Heartstream today. And I know that this Heartstream is viewed all over. There are people in California, in Arizona, in Texas, in North Carolina, in Georgia, in Illinois, in Florida, and in many other places that are viewing this. But I know for us right here in Memphis, Tennessee, and I know some of the surrounding areas, we're experienced snow through the night, and it's on the ground. And it's also now, because the temperatures are below freezing and it rained prior to the snow, that it's icy. So please, please be very careful. If you don't have to go out, please don't go out. And if you do have to go out, please remain safe. This weekend is also the weekend that we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And it's so very, very important that we remember Dr. King and all of his work and continue to do what we can to see and make sure that we, as in this quote, he talks about not succumbing to the ideas that things like machines and computers and property and other things become more important than people. Because I know that over this weekend, there'll be so many people who I believe don't necessarily have the aims that Dr. King ultimately was about at heart, but will use his quotes to try and justify their own agendas. And we must remember that in spite of all of the things that he said about making this a just society and people being together and not being judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character, he was also very clear that there are some things that needed to be addressed and eradicated. And I hope that we can continue to carry his legacy forward. I also wanted to mention the fact that I know that last week I announced that we were going to be doing another class that was going to be starting at the end of this month, and that's changed just a little bit. The book that we'll be using is called Transforming Your Life by Dr. Barbara King, who is the founder of the Hillside International Truth Center in Atlanta. I think it's going to be a very powerful class and a very powerful study of this book. And it's going to begin in February rather than the last week in January. Also, we have coming back Wine and Words. And our own Krista right there is going to be coordinating that. Krista is someone who, because of this Heartstream, we've been able to reach people that we previously hadn't reached. And she's a person who's very interested in Open Heart. And she and her husband, Matthew, have been avid followers of Open Heart and the Heartstream. And she wanted to see a way of us coming together virtually through all of this, and took the initiative to say, I'd like to do something to bring Wine and Words back. There's information about it in the announcements, and there'll be information and a link posted on the website, and you'll be able to join in with that on Thursday in 2 weeks. So I hope that you will join that, and she has a lot of plans for it going forward. Thank you so much, Krista, for coming forward to do this. I thank you for all of the support that you provide for us at Open Heart and all of the things that you do to help make this possible and to help us to get the word out about Open Heart and to continue to teach the principles of truth. Take a moment and turn within. As I give thanks for this day, for this awareness and understanding of the truth and all that flows from each and every one of us, and more importantly, the truth and the expression of spirit that comes forth as each and every one of us. I'm grateful and I'm thankful for this day. I'm grateful and thankful for all who continue to be a part of this spiritual community and beyond. May the words, the music, the energy, the vibration, the intention all reverberate from this place, all continue to go out into the universe and touch and transform lives, brings about healing, brings about wholeness, brings about a sense of well-being, brings about a sense of understanding and compassion, brings about an appreciation for life and an awareness of our divinity, and that all that is experienced in this Heartstream today continues to enrich lives and to make us all better because we took the time to be a part of this movement in spirit. And with joy and gratitude, I release my word into the creative medium. I give thanks for it now because it's already done in the mind of God. And I declare in this moment that my word goes forth, doesn't return to me void, but it accomplishes so many powerful things in this moment. right here and right now, and so it is. I greet you. I bless you. I see God in you. Our purpose statement. Our purpose is to create a spiritual community which recognizes that there is one presence and one power in the universe, God. Daily, we actively practice this spiritual truth. We open our heart space to each person to acknowledge one another as expressions of God. It is in each other that we see God.
Our theme for the month of January, New Beginnings. I celebrate new beginnings as I awaken to my true essence, which is God within me. I realize the power that is being expressed as me right here and right now. And so it is.
Hello, Openheartspiritual Center. My name is Krista Wright Thayer, and I'm here today with your affirmative reading. It comes from The Four Agreements, A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom by Don Miguel Ruiz. God is life. God is life in action. The best way to say I love you, God, is to live your life doing your best. The best way to say thank you, God, is by letting go of the past and living in the present moment, right here and now. Whatever life takes away from you, let it go. When you surrender and let go of the past, you allow yourself to be fully alive in the moment. Letting go of the past means you can enjoy the dream that is happening right now. If you live in a past dream, you don't enjoy what is happening right now because you will always wish to be different. There is no time to miss anyone or anything because you are alive. Not enjoying what is happening right now is living in the past and being only half alive. This leads to self-pity, suffering, and tears. A prayer for love. Thank you, Creator of the universe, for the gift of life you have given me. Thank you for giving me everything that I have ever needed. Thank you for the opportunity to experience this beautiful body and this wonderful mind. Thank you for living inside me with all your love and your pure and boundless spirit, with your warm and radiating light. Thank you for using my words, for using my eyes, for using my heart to share your love wherever I go. I love you just the way you are, and because I am your creation, I love myself just the way I am. Help me to keep the love and the peace in my heart and to make that love a new way of life, that I may live in love the rest of my life. Amen.
Good morning. These are your announcements. This weekend, we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and we know that his legacy continues to impact the world and his words continue to reverberate throughout. And we know that the work toward justice is not through. And so let us, in honor of his memory, do all that we can to continue to make sure that our society becomes a just one.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day. Today is a day like no other day. Just think and you'll know that it's true. Days like today should be holidays. So I'm singing this message to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day.
Our own Matthew Lee has a show at the Dixon Gallery and Gardens that runs through March 27th. Connecting with Nature is a collection of Matthew's most recent paintings, largely completed during the pandemic, when the outdoors became even more of a sanctuary for him than perhaps ever before. His paintings, whether spontaneous oil sketches or larger compositions, are in many ways a byproduct of his experiences witnessing the beauty of nature. It includes a lecture on January 26th, a reception on February 17th, and a workshop on March 19. Let's come out and support Matthew. Well, Wine and Words is back, and we will have our first session on January the 27th at 6:30 p.m. And Krista Wright Thayer will be coordinating it, and we're very grateful to Krista. She's one of our very new members, very new part of Open Heart, but she wanted to make sure that this time for coming together continued. And so we look to see you on the 27th of January at 6:30 p.m. It will be a virtual Wine and Words. Transform Your Life. We are changing the book that we're going to use for our course, but join us for an 8-week course based on the book by Dr. Barbara King, who founded the Hillside International Truth Center in Atlanta. You might remember learning her story last March during our Women of New Thought series. She established a dynamic New Thought congregation, and this book explores the subjects of love, faith, and prosperity as only she could. Thank you, Open Heart, for your continued support. Your 2021 contribution statements have been emailed to you. Check your email. If you don't see it, check your spam folder, and then if you still don't see it, contact me. At Open Heart, we believe in the power of affirmative prayer. For all of those that you see on this list, knowing for you your healing, your wholeness, your comfort, your strength, and for all of the needs that you might have in this moment, we're holding this space for you. We're seeing God already moving in your life, knowing that whatever it is that you might need, it is already done in the mind of God. And we extend our prayers beyond this list to each and every one of you that are part of this Heartstream, knowing for you your best, knowing for you the ultimate in healing, in wholeness, in transformation, in life itself happening for you. And so it is. I'm always grateful to those who provide an affirmative reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And this is your opportunity to submit a video to Jay Gilmore at Openheartspiritual.org. Our daily affirmative prayer call takes place each and every morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. Dial in as one of our prayer team members shares an inspirational reading and then prays for you, all in about 7 minutes. It's time for conscious giving. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am richly blessed, creating a greater and greater flow. 3 ways to give: our Cash App, hashtag OHSC901, online at OHSC901.com, or by texting the word give to 615-422-4292.
Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? When spirit is my portion
His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know she watches over me. I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. Oh, His eye is on the sparrow, and I know she watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches. I know she watches. I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. Oh, His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches over me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know she watches. She watches me. She watches me. I know He watches.
It's time for our centering moment, and as I take the opportunity right here and right now to bring us into the awareness of the fact that Spirit is flowing in, through, and as us in this moment. And as we take the time to focus, to center, to prepare ourselves for the message, giving thanks for all that has gone before and for the way in which now our messenger, Reverend Villa Willis, brings forth all that is needed in this moment. And as she has made herself open and available to Spirit, and the Spirit speaks to us in this moment, this day.
Greetings! I greet you all on this MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. I'm grateful for this man and for his legacy. He spoke truth to power, stood up for people who couldn't stand up for himself. And I always feel a special connection to him because his I Have a Dream speech was on August 28th, which is my birthday, but it was on August 28th, 1963, which is my born day. So I'm excited that that energy and that passion was in the air on my day of stepping onto this planet. And so I'm grateful for him and for his legacy. And may we all continue to choose nonviolence and love. And I also hope that you're all safe and warm on this winter weather warning weekend. Let's just breathe in and out. Now, our January theme is New Beginnings, and my talk title today is Endings, the Door to New Beginnings. And my talk text for our time together today is Luke 23:42. Then he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. So let's talk about new beginnings. In the last 3 years for me has been a great time of new beginnings. I moved to a new state, a new home, a new spiritual center, a new position of ministry, a new weather, snow and fall and humidity, and a new job. 4 days ago or whatever, on the 11th of January was my 1 year anniversary at Baptist. I survived, and that's a whole different story. But yes, my 1 year anniversary. And I'm grateful for every new beginning, but it would be just as accurate to say that I'm grateful for every ending. Here's a quote from the philosopher Seneca. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Now, I want to get right into our text today. And so the text that I use for my talk text is from the crucifixion narrative. That narrative being presented in Luke from the sacred text of Christianity. And so the narrative is that Master Teacher Jesus is being crucified between two other criminals, and he's being crucified as a criminal. And in this scenario, the crowd is mocking him. They're like, you could save yourself, but you can't you could save other people, but you can't save yourself. And the Roman soldiers are mocking him like, if you're the Messiah, come on down. And then one of the criminals being executed, it's like, dude, if you are the Messiah, get yourself down and us. But the other criminal there rebukes the first criminal and proclaims, we are getting the punishment we deserve. But this man, referring to Master Teacher Jesus, is innocent. And then he says, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And I'm like, huh? You think Jesus is getting ready to come into a kingdom when he's getting executed like you? Dude, this is not what triumph looks like. But look at the response of Master Teacher Jesus. Truly, I tell you today, you will be with me in paradise. It's like two crazy men at this point having a conversation. But what Master Teacher Jesus could have said was like, really? Dude, today? Sorry, you should have caught me on the feeding of the 5,000. Or when I healed the man with the withered hand. Or when I healed the lame man outside the pool. Or when I healed the dude, his friends dropped him through the roof. Or, when I healed the woman with the issue of blood. Or when I had the healing and freeing conversation with the woman at the well. It's too late. Catch me next time. But no, he says, truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. And these two characters, these two men, are presenting some very powerful, but also simple lessons that we can use living today. 3 simple lessons from this narrative: that endings are the doors to new beginnings. It's never too late to end your story. Louis L'Amour says there will come a time when you believe everything is finished, and that will be the beginning. That man that was being crucified with Jesus as a criminal of some sort, and they say a thief, but we don't execute thieves in this country. You got to really do something to be publicly executed. The Romans were making an example of these people. And so whatever his narrative was, I'm a big bad criminal, or I'm a rebel, or, I had a bad upbringing. I grew up on the wrong side of town in Jerusalem, and, I was poor, or my family hated me, or girls hated me, or boys hated me, and I had it rough. Or, this Roman government trying to hold me down. So whatever happened, whatever choices he made, got him in this position. And he could have held on to that narrative till the end. But there was an ending to that narrative. And he ended that narrative when he said to Jesus, Namaste. Basically, the Christ in me. I recognize the Christ in you at this moment. and I want to be one with that. He let go of the narrative, and it was not too late. Anytime we can drop the narrative, well, I've been diagnosed with this, or my family's like this, or, this is the case, or where I grew up, this was the or, right now I'm the Okay, you can drop that narrative at any time and let the Christ consciousness within. You and I can drop those narratives anytime and let that Christ consciousness within well up, and then see the Christ in the people in that narrative, or in the back of our mind in that narrative, and then move forward. Speak the namaste. The Christ in me sees the Christ in you. I think the second lesson is the power of Christ consciousness and the healing and redemptive power of forgiveness. Because what happened that would make this man even think that something different was going on with Jesus at this time? So you will be today, or truly I say to you today, you will be with me in paradise, is the second of the 7 last words, which is the narrative from the crucifixion. But the first word is, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. Now, how many of you, Gail can tell you a story of how many people she had to beat up because her little sister had a big mouth. She'd get herself in trouble. She'd come running to Gail, and Jill is spindly, and Gail's always been kind of well built, so she had to beat those people up. Right? You go running to your daddy. My mom had a sister that was kind of the same way. If they could make it home to her, she would come out and beat up whoever. So you get that. You could have been like, now, Dad, I want you to damn all of them and look what they're doing to me and listen to my narrative. But instead, while this horrible, horrible thing is happening, and if you saw the Passion of the Christ, some horrible, horrible stuff happened beforehand, he is still, Master Teacher Jesus is showing us that there is no spot where God is not. Now I'm getting ahead to my next point, but it's the truth. God is in the midst of the ugly. God is in the midst of the hurt. God is in the midst of the rejection. God is in the midst of the rape and the assault. And we can either forgive and invite God into that presence, Father, call upon that relationship, that divine wisdom, and let go. And I believe that when this criminal saw Master Teacher Jesus speaking forgiveness, that in that moment, he was able to let go of his, I'm the victim and look what happened to me. And he was able to let that go. And that ending brought a new beginning. And then the third of the lessons from this narrative is the presence of the divine. There is no spot where God is not. God is in the endings. We want to see God in the new thing. I see God's over there. Yeah, we'll see over at this new thing. No, God is right here in the place where you're unhappy, in the place where you and I could be depressed, in the place where we can be anxious, in the place where we're being rejected, in the place where we're being harmed, in the place where we're scared. And God is in this space. And if we can follow the example of that criminal, that on Jesus's worst day, still see that Christ's presence, connect to it, allow it within and embody it, that we can end those things that are crucifying us, those things that bring us down, those things that harm and hurt us. We can end those things at any time when we have the divine eye to see the divine Christ presence in harmful situations, in hurtful situations, in diagnosis, in whatever it is. We can follow the example of this man who, in Jesus forgiving, and I like the other words that are there, taking care of his mother, saying, I thirst. The human part of him was like, ugh. And even the part of him that cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Not God, God, but my God. I'm still holding on to you. I still know that we are one. I know. And then realizing it's done. And even though this is not the best scenario, I still trust you enough that I'm going to release the true me, my spirit, into your hands. And this great narrative teaches us never too late to let go of the narrative. That the power of Christ consciousness in forgiving, healing, and redemptive, and that the presence of the divine is everywhere. Endings can be hurtful. Sometimes it's easier to be safe in your victimhood and, this is just how it is. But Lao Tzu, the philosopher, says new beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. And if we can see and invite the divine presence into our painful ending, we have a new beginning. I end with this great quote by Jonathan Lockwood. Celebrate endings, for they precede new beginnings. Blessings, my love to you. Namaste.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it all go. Are you listening? You got to let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Do you want to be free? Then let me hear you say yes. Yes, I'm only here for God. I know.
I thank you for being so real and touching me, letting me see what a beautiful world this world is. And I thank you for all that's revealed. changing me and opening my time, blinded eyes to see my glorious possibilities. I like this song. Oh, and I pray for strength to keep seeing just like this. Oh, that I can say yes and move out the way and give my God its full sway. Oh, I thank you for being so real and changing me and opening my time, blinded eyes, opening my time, blinded eyes. God opens up my time, blinded eyes to see my glorious possibilities.